Many people see the start of a new calendar year as a new beginning, and 2020 was far more worthy of this title, considering it kicked off an entirely new decade. With this new mental start, numerous people were aiming to make 2020 the best year they've had thus far. But I believe no one was ready for what 2020 would throw at us. For me, it was just my second semester of college. Classes started as usual, and nothing seemed too out of the ordinary. Spring break soon came along, and there was talk of a virus that was spreading rampant throughout Wuhan, China. It never seemed like it was going to be a problem in the US, considering how far away it was. But a virus knows no bounds.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know. A Washington state resident fell ill after returning from Wuhan, China.
And before we knew it, spring break was extended for 2 weeks to contain the virus. Then, 2 weeks turned into a month. And finally, the full switch to Zoom University as the entire world went into lockdown. With online classes putting many of us in a rut, it sometimes felt as though time was standing still during the lockdown. But alas, the world kept moving around us. Wildfires continue to rage across Australia and the west coast of the US, displacing thousands of people and animals alike, making all of us question the growing impact of global warming. Protests were happening in our streets, along with those across the globe, to continue the fight for racial equality and bring awareness to police brutality. The next leader of our country was being decided on, with historic voter turnout from both sides, and despite the virus raging throughout the US. An economic recession was upon us, displacing millions of people from their jobs and causing many to financially struggle through these already trying times.
New numbers out today show nearly 1.5 million Americans filed for unemployment last week.
All while millions of lives are being taken by the virus that we are trying so desperately to contain. 2020 was a year that tested many of us, but if there's anything we have learned, it shows that we are resilient. With the calendar year moving from 2020 to 2021, it might not have been the magic reset button that we were all hoping for. But it certainly has pulled us in the right direction. A worldwide effort was being made to create a vaccine for the coronavirus, and that effort began to pay off. The new mRNA vaccines from both Pfizer and Moderna were approved by the FDA in late 2020 and were making their way across the globe to help combat the virus. The trial for George Floyd found a verdict and is slowly making way for racial equality and awareness for the Black Lives Matter movement. Our new president is helping pave the way for the battle on climate change and is attempting to make the US one of the leaders in changing our global emissions habits.
We're going to invest $1.7 trillion in securing our future so that by 2050, the United States will be 100% clean energy economy.
The economic recession is still heavily impacting millions of people, but the economy is slowly recovering from the dramatic global shutdown. It may not be perfect, but we certainly know how to bounce back. The same could be said for many of us. Zoom classes, online finals, limited social interactions have all certainly taken a toll on my mental health. But I've tried to find the bright spots in this dim year, and they have made me stronger as a person. As 2021 continues and life slowly phases back to normality, it can be easy for us to just close the chapter on this year and purge it from our memories. But I urge you not to. 2020 has taught us valuable lessons as people and as a global population that we would be foolish to forget. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. We must learn from this experience and better prepare for our future. We must keep moving forward.